because if this is safe, there's a little bit of risk, and there's also that gives you the adrenaline.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's what adventure is about.
Yeah, that might
maybe feeling a little bit uncomfortable.
I think that's more for a weekend kind of traveling guide or something. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, adventure would probably be the core of all these trips, actually.
Except for probably And but we also see that there are like different types of you see like it's on the water, it's wet, so you see these different fishies and new animals you've never seen before. In the safari it's the same, except for the atmosphere is more like dry and white. And here it's more like sports activity. And here as well.
But all of them are a lot about being active and
getting to know something new.
Exactly, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? Thanks. Part 3 is 10 minutes in total. And within that time, each candidate is asked to talk for about 2 minutes about a particular topic. They're given a card with a question word on it and some prompts which they can use if they want to. And when they finish their talk, the other candidate is given a question about the topic to which they have to answer. And then the first candidate is invited back into the discussion. And then the second candidate gives their talk and the whole process is repeated again. When they've finished, the examiner will open up the discussion with some more general questions about the same topic. And the aim of all of this is to assess whether students can speak at length about a particular topic and to organise their thoughts and to justify their opinions. Remember, when you're given the card, you have up to 10 seconds to think about the topic. And during this time, think about any personal experiences related to the topic or something in the news, because this will help you develop the theme. Use discourse markers to help organise your talk, and this will make it easier for the examiners and the other candidate to follow what you're saying. And finally, listen. Listen to each other so that when the examiner asks you questions, you can refer back to what each other has said. Now, in this part of the test, you're each going to talk on your own for about 2 minutes. You need to listen while your partner is speaking because you'll be asked to comment afterwards. OK? So, Nikita, I'm going to give you a card with a question written on it, and I'd like you to tell us what you think. And there are also some ideas on the card for you to use if you like. OK, and here's your card. And please let Maria-Lise see your card. But remember, Nikita, you have about 2 minutes to talk before we join in.
Talking about the ways we can protect the world we live in, I think that the most important bit is to preserve the natural diversity and to save the wildlife we have. As a person coming from Russia, we are not really, I have to admit this, we're not really good in preserving our nature, and as far as I know, we are currently running a program on disposing the nuclear waste for other countries, which is not that beneficial for our own wildlife. But I truly admire European countries which manage to preserve like a small islands of nature within the industrial areas. It's also important to save the natural resources for future generations, like fresh water supplies and forests and all this stuff. Talking about places of natural beauty, I think it goes hand in hand with the previous two. If we manage to save the wildlife, it is beautiful on its own, so there is nothing else which should be done apart from that.
OK, thank you. And Maria-Lise, What are the greatest environmental problems affecting the area you live in?
Well, in the area I live in, which is a city, the important environmental problems are cars, because they are polluting, obviously, the city and people, and endangering buildings as well. So cars will be probably number one. Also, other problems with waste, thinking of all the rubbish we collect in my house. There's too much rubbish, and some, of course, is recycled, and that's very good, but still not enough of it is recycled. I think there's too much plastic, particularly in the supermarket when you go and buy fruits or vegetables. Often it's packaged, and I think there's too much packaging and this sort of things.
Thank you. Do you agree?
I thoroughly agree with Marie-Lise in terms of the plastic, and I think it's of paramount importance to recycle it or even get rid of it. I'm really impressed by European countries in the way they're switching back to canvas bags. It looks a little bit old style, but I think it's cool.
Okay, thank you. Can I have the booklet, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Now, Marie-Lise, it's your turn to be given a question, and here is your card. And please let Nikita see your card. But remember, Marie-Lise, you have about 2 minutes to tell us what you think. There are some ideas on the card for you to use if you like. All right?
Okay, so the importance of preserving my culture. My culture being France, I think there are many aspects to my culture. The buildings, of course, are one aspect, and preserving buildings is very important because buildings tell us stories about the past and also about the present, and then they are an indication for the future. So I think buildings are very important. They tell the story of what happened at a certain time and how a city is structured. So preserving them means a lot of renovation. It's a lot of money, but that's critical, I think. Then also part of my culture is art and literature. There are many famous, obviously, writers in France, many famous painters, many famous sculptures, and I think it's important for people to know about them. So it's important for French books to be read in France, but also to be translated. So translation is important. And the language, well, I think the French language certainly is not in danger of disappearing, but it's important to keep it going because it used to be a more important language, particularly in the diplomatic circles, and now maybe less so with the importance of English, but still I find it's really important for people to speak it and to be taught at school, and for children to know about different foods and different festivals and just different habits.
Okay, thank you. And Nikita, what aspects of your culture do you think have remained unchanged over time?
I think we are best in preserving the literature and language tradition in Russian culture. Firstly, because of the education system, which was, I think, founded on the language and verbal knowledge we're transferring to younger generations. It's a little bit worse developed when we're talking about visual arts like paintings and sculpture and architecture, but this is starting to develop right now. So I think language is the first and all the visual arts are taking the second place.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what do you think?
What do I think about your... I think that's all of what you say is very important, and developing the knowledge of literature and certainly, and